Hey, Alan Robertson here. If you're seeing this video, then it's because you've come across my levee breaking music videos very early in the process of my sharing them. I have this whole strategic plan of, updating my website and getting it up to date and listing my coaching services, listing my vision, having really specific things that you can contribute to if you really love that video and you want to support. And people somehow were already finding that I'd released the songs. I'm like, okay, I need to get something up. So this is me just winging it in terms of talking about my needs. When I asked for help in the video, there's a number of practical things going on. Like, while I was making the levee breaking song, I use an 828 Mark III by Motu. It's a sound interface from years ago that it goes firewire to my computer, both my MacBook and my desktop computer, where I do most of my heavier sound mixing and video production. And for some reason, the sound card wasn't interfacing over the firewire anymore. Suddenly, I jammed the cable in the wrong way or something like this. Excuse me. So anyway, that's a $1,300 sound card, and I've got a $600 additional preamp unit, a PreSonus or something, an 8 channel that plugs into my Motu that now also doesn't work because it doesn't interface with my computer. So that's $2,000 worth of sound gear that just went down and that I've relied upon for 15 years now, 15 or 16 even. So I got to get I took it to a chip repair guy, and he's like, well, there's corrosion on the board and stuff like this. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I'm going to have to figure out either getting it fixed or get new gear. So there's that's a surprise expense that relates to me producing all my videos and all my musical content anywhere. Like, I even wanted in my behind the scenes video, I wanted to show you behind the scenes where I actually mix, and I could, show you how I do all the knobs and do the plugins and all of that, but I can't do it without my Motu. So I'm hitting a bottleneck with that. Also, my MacBook that I run Premiere Pro on, an old version of it. My MacBook's from 2011, a refurbished MacBook from 2011 at this point. So 12 years. It's a great machine, but I'm looking at the back of it, and parts of the case are chipping, and I've had the CPU flux redone a few times and new batteries and all this over the years, but I just have this sense even my computer, the one that I produce on, is a bottleneck to me. So to justify, I need a computer, and it works for now, but I could really use an upgraded computer. My phone is about to die. I can't plug in I can't get headphone audio out of my phone anymore, which blocks me for doing concerts and playing my backup tracks through a speaker system. So, and then also, I've wanted for a long time to have a nicer, I really do and have success with my Rode NT2A vocal mic, the big condenser that I use behind my spit guard that I recorded the whole levee breaking, all of the audios with. I like that mic, but at the same time, I've for a long time wanted, and this is not a need so much as a want, but I've wanted something like a Neumann TLM 102 or some kind of maybe a tube mic or something with a little more warmth to it for vocals. And a mic like that's $1,000 or something, 12. So there's another thing that I would love. And I actually have a pair of NT2As, but one of them has been, just for years, it's been fuzzy. I even spent $150 and sent it into somebody that supposedly repaired microphones, and he just sent it back. He was like, oh, it's fine, except it still had this fuzz. So if I ever do a left and right recording of these mics, then you got one is very clear on one side and you can hear the hiss on the other side. So it's I could theoretically, it would help me to have another $500 for another NT2A so that I could have a nice clear stereo channel if I'm ever using those two mics. Though I do have my stereo factory pair of Octavas, and I'm using an Octava right now to record with. What else? Yeah, I'm just in a transition period right now where I've been running this window cleaning and lawn care business for a number of years to support myself, doing Christmas lights installs in the winter and fall, and I'm good at that, as good as any human can be at such things. And I know it's not useless work. And also, I have this strong call to be doing something else, like really using my high value talents to contribute to life instead of just what feels like a draining, kind of monotonous, kind of grindy sort of existence with these things, and then having a little time for extra projects on the side. It just feels like my potential and my life are being wasted to some degree. So I'm in this transition period of spending a month on these 2 videos and getting them out there, and while I'm spending a month on them, I can't be making money doing other things. So until I build more momentum with my music, I've got 20 or 30 songs at this point that are in various stages of completion, many of which are very touching songs that I think could be very uplifting or healing in the same way that levee breaking has been for a lot of people. And video content of all sorts of types. Like, I could teach people how to play guitar, drums, harmonium/piano. I can teach people how to sing. I can teach people how to arrange like music, songs, compose, mix things, master things. But it's not like, it doesn't happen overnight. So if you want to help me getting my high value skills and talents out there in a much faster way, like serving life essentially, by instead of having me grind and do these things on the side, you want to help me get my unique value out there faster, then I would super appreciate any general financial donations. That helps me. Another area you can help me too is, like, just like any other human, and me maybe more than other people, I've struggled with my sense of purpose and direction and clarity about what specifically I'm meant to be doing on this planet for a long time, which is why partially I'm growing out of it now into better. But I've been stuck for years doing work that every year I come into the Christmas light season or the window cleaning season, and I'm like, am I seriously doing this again? But I haven't created anything else. I've done beautiful things in the in-between months, like gone to Portugal and done dyads and chairs about personal development and inner exploration, or went on a breatharian, a pranic initiation retreat to learn about self. And so I've developed this knowledge and talent in other ways that I don't really express much in the world, other than for friends, of like holding space for people's emotional processes as a counselor, or just a safe, loving, non-judgmental space where people can even find their own answers, which is the feedback that I get. So there's another set of talents. So another one of my ideas is to start providing more of a space holding or coaching service to the world. That's probably, in my view, a much higher impact service. I'm much more in tune with my talents than window cleaning, for example. Anyone can do window cleaning. Though, by the way, if you want to buy a window cleaning business that you can go and create your own income, especially if you're good at talking to people at the door, I can sell you my van and the gear and teach you how to do really well with it. I've just struggled with going and selling things at the door that I don't care that much about. Early season, people want it and they'll buy it, but if I'm going to sell things to people, which I'm well capable of doing, cold calling, negotiating deals, I really would want it to be something that's really serving the planet right now, like really making a difference and bumping the needle in the right direction. So if you have any work opportunities for me, you see me, my video creation, I have negotiation and cold calling skills, though it's not something that I thrive most in because I'm more of an introvert. And please tell me about your opportunities of ventures, people, companies that are really making a difference, like tuning the world in and putting the world in the direction of golden age. That's another way you can support me. If you want to mentor me and help me just be the best version of me, I really would be glad to hear from you. If you also, I have this idea of having a few podcasts. One is about the self-management and how to thrive as an individual on the planet. And then at the next holographic level of that sentiment of thriving, then the next is like world systems or societal structures or logistical structures that really serve the planet and humanity. So things like, I'm really into Michael Tellinger and Ubuntu contributionism. I'm really interested in it, and and considering whether there's some way I can maybe get some work right now with a venture like that. That's not just volunteerism. But if you know of any, if you're somebody that has a lot to share about how as a species and as a planet, because I'm not just talking about humans, but how as a planet we can move forward into really having everyone thrive and live their best life in all forms. And I get that planet Earth is a place where we come to grow through challenge. So it's not like, I'm meaning everything should be perfect, but it just seems like there's a lot of usury, a lot of division, a lot of confusion about where our life comes from on this planet, turning life into money and getting lost in artificial stuff. So if you're somebody that has a heart full of stuff they want to share with the world, then please let me know and we can have a conversation on one of my channels. Either if you want to focus more on the individual level, like you're somebody that has a real grip on what is the most effective way for people to deal with their trauma and come into thriving, or health stuff, which has never been one of my fortes, but like diet and German new medicine I'm interested in, any other modality that basically gives people in planet their health back without this monetization and slave structure, engineered slave structure that exists on the planet right now. Anything like that, how to self-manage and get clarity about one's own purpose and function so that we can thrive. Things like this, that's more the individual level that's one of my podcasts called Being Thriving. And then my second level is Visions of Golden Age, which is more global. So if you're a structures person, you understand how we could live in society in ways that serve all in planet much better, or how economies could function, or village structures, or all of this stuff, then please let me know, and I would love to have a conversation with you on video and share that on our platforms so that we can help move evolution forward. Is there anything else? Yeah, so I just spent a month on Levee breaking, those 3 videos. We had firstly I recorded the audio, which took a couple of weeks, so it was more like a month and a half. It took me a couple of weeks to produce that version of the song, fine-tune it and make the a cappella or the vocal version of it. And then to make the split screen video where you see 5 Allens and the harmonium, it took me, I did it in tandem with the behind the scenes video. It took me a month to make those 2 videos, plus the karaoke video where you get to sing along, and I've taken the main Allen out. You sing along with the other Allens. It took me a month to make the video and 2 weeks to make this track in the form it is right now. So if I'm having to go and work at a day job, and if that's, and when I say day job, it's not like it's a slave sentence or anything like that. I can find projects that are meaningful for me to be part of for work, and that I intend to do that. However, if you are touched by the Levee breaking thing and you want to give me the feedback that it matters for me to be putting this music out, and you want to enable me to actually create more of this stuff faster, so I'm not going and doing other stuff and just have a few hours a week for music, then contributing in some way would really obviously help me focus more on the music. So yeah, thank you for listening to this. And also, if you have things that you want to achieve, like you need help getting clear on what your gifts and talents are, you want help navigating relational stuff, you want strategic thinking for a venture or your own life, you want to produce videos about yourself or your vision or your project, you want to have somebody hear you about your challenges in a non-judgmental way so that you can find your own answers and be heard on something that maybe has been tormenting you for a long time and you've never told anybody about. I just had a friend recently that was struggling with something and they hadn't told anybody about it ever, and the feedback was that it made a huge difference to just be heard on this topic without any judgment and not even needing to be fixed, and so that this person could find their own, I'm saying they because I want to be honoring of privacy, But if there's any way that I can contribute to you, please let me know. Or if you just want to have a conversation and relate about life and make a friend, then I'm here. Reach out, let me know. And yeah, just thanks for being open to communicating, which I consider this to be, even though it's a little one-directional right now. So, once again, you're awesome. I appreciate you. You're doing great. Thanks for playing your part, and I will catch you in the flow of things.